What's up, Gemini? This is your reading. Like I've been saying, I'm not going to say this is a weekly reading because I haven't been here in literally almost a year. So, I am going to attempt to post weekly readings in some form or fashion. So stay tuned for that. Whether it's collective, whether it's your specific zodiac sign. I'm not sure how I'm going to be doing it. 12 videos a week for each zodiac sign is a little excessive when you have other things going on, but I want to continue doing these in some way, so I will figure it out. If anybody has any suggestions, leave them below. And speaking of below, if you would like a personal reading with me, the link is in the description below. There will also be a card that will come up at around the 3 to 5 minute mark with the link to my website. It's torifranco.com/shop. I offer personal readings, like in one-on-one readings, but I also offer pre-recorded readings. So, yeah. 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So this comes through as some sort of like, I'm getting reward for the Geminis in some aspect. Some sort of reward that allows you to take a break from work that you may have been doing. Like, and this could be work on yourself. And this could be very much so self-care, right? With these 2 cards right here. These fucking lights really be fucking me up because I'm trying to show you guys the cards. I'll figure this whole thing out. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Hold on one second. Maybe that's better. We'll see. But either way, I'm getting some self-care here with these cards. You still can't see them. Well, it is what it is. Because you have the 4 of Swords, which is always about... I mean, look at this. Look at her. Let's see. Can you see it? Can you see it? There she is. She's enjoying herself. The card is literally a girl at a spa. Well, girl, female, non-binary, I don't know. But a person at a spa getting pampered. And then, you know, the 8 of Pentacles is all about putting work in. But when it's next to the 4 of Swords, it's giving... working on self-care, and potentially putting that work into yourself, into who you are. And I think there's a level of really, especially with this Knight of Pentacles, which is always a card of like showing up, right? Showing up and being consistent. This could possibly have to do, Gemini, with being consistent about how you are taking care of yourself and how you are resting and relaxing. I do feel with this 8 of Pentacles that you do have a lot of things going on and you're working hard toward a lot of things, and you could be attempting to, you know, master one specific thing or multiple things, right? And if that's your life, I am getting a sense of Geminis being very busy and yes, being able to handle things. Like, I'm not seeing you guys in burnout just yet. I mean, only 3 cards are out, so the tides can change at any fucking second. I'm not seeing you guys necessarily being overwhelmed with this stuff, but I am seeing this sort of balance that could be had with work and like with outside work and then inside work, inner work, like on yourself. And I'm not saying like you need inner work in the sense of like you need to change. I'm saying inner work in the sense of you need to nurture yourself and show up the same way you show up for everything else. You need to show up for yourself as well. And that's what's kind of coming through here. The Emperor in reverse is out. 8 of Wands. Love to see it. And the Death card. Okay. So clearly when the Death card comes out, this is some sort of rebirth and transformation. Not always a bad card, but there could be some resistance to whatever this change is. The way that I put the Death card, or the way that I read the Death card, is that you might be afraid of these changes, and you might be feeling a little bit out of control with whatever is happening in your life, especially with this Emperor in reverse, right? It's feeling like you've either given somebody else the control, somebody might be abusing their power over you, or you're just feeling out of control. You feel as if you don't have control over whatever this situation may be. And maybe there is a specific situation happening in your life where something like this is going on. 8 of Wands is it's pretty fast change, right? And it's progression and expansion. So there is some sort of change and expanding that is happening. This could be within a business. Just take it as it resonates. I always say that. I'm going to use the terms generally because not all of the Geminis are going through the same thing. So just bear that in mind. I'm very aware that, y'all aren't going specifically through the same situation. That's very evident. But overall, there is some sort of expansion and change happening in your life. And I think that maybe it's in order to get through it, you need to take care of yourself and kind of work through it and put in the effort to being okay. And that can very well be what this reading is saying. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles, there's two opposing energies here with the Knight of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving, and they take their time, and they reach change over time. The Knight of Pentacles, the way that I see that card, is like building the one brick at a time, and in a year or two, having an entire wall. You know what I mean? It's very slow movement. Like, even in that year, you don't have a full house. You don't have a house. You just have a wall, but a wall nonetheless, right? As opposed to this 8 of Wands, which is something happening swiftly and moving forward quickly. And maybe something is happening so quickly that you feel like you've lost control. And maybe that's why that Emperor is coming out in reverse. I think, like I said, this is, above all, like I said, the reading can change and it becomes more nuanced the more cards you pull, right? But I do believe that the first 3 cards that came out are very self-care oriented, or at the very least, continuing to show up through whatever these changes are. Show up for yourself. And again, I think it's a kind of like double entendre here. Like, it's like a double meaning. Like, showing up for the outside world, whether that means work and getting all your tasks done the way that you normally would, and not stressing out and remaining calm, keep calm and carry on sort of energy. But then also that I'm feeling very like balanced here. Like, whatever this change is, things are going to change quickly for you. And I don't think they're changing in a bad way, but I do believe with the Death card, you may be experiencing some resistance to this change, even if it's internal resistance, right? If it's like, these changes are good. These changes are like, it could be you moving into bigger, better house. It could be you changing jobs into a better job. Like whatever it is, it feels better. But you may be experiencing some resistance internally to it, because change is scary regardless of what kind of change it is. It's scary. Will things ever be the same? Will I, what if things don't work out in this like sort of new chapter? Will I be able to go back? The answer here is no. With the death card, I don't believe you will be able to go back, but I don't believe that's a bad thing either. So I think really not just holding on for the change, but working through the change internally and again, externally. I don't want to fucking continue to like beat a dead horse, you know what I mean? But I'll pull 3 more cards and see what else comes through. I don't know, Gemini, that's... King of Cups in reverse, Page of Cups upright, 10 of Cups. Oh my god, 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck in reverse, which that is a card you definitely want to see in reverse, at least for me, the way that I read it. And bear in mind, every person reads differently in some form or fashion, so just keep that in mind. I love watching other tarot readers to see how they interpret the cards, but either way. King of Cups in reverse, I would say, is a little bit of emotional detachment. And I think the message here with this King of Cups in reverse and the Page of Cups and the 10 of Cups is very much so getting back in touch with those emotions and possibly with your... It's kind of like finding that... I don't want to say lust for life, but like seeing the beauty in things. When I see the Page of Cups kind of sees the wonder in every situation, mundane or not, right? The Page of Cups sees, it's like that childlike energy, and not all pages are like children, right? But it's that energy of like viewing the world through a new lens where you're just mesmerized and excited about everything. And for that reason, I see the Page of Cups for some reason as like the heart chakra card. It's like opening your heart. When you finally have opened your heart, you're kind of viewing everything in this like different place of like, wonder. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like the feeling I get from that card is like experiencing the world as a newbie, and kind of looking around and being like, wow, this is a beautiful place to be. So there is a level of gratitude, obviously, that comes with that, because how do you view the world with this lens of wonder and not feel grateful for where you're at? And I think that definitely plays into this reading, but I also do think that it's like finding, I don't want to say the spark, because the spark would be a different card for me. It's like finding the heart in the situation again, because maybe you have been so focused on more analytical things, less emotional things, less things that have to do with that create like that actual like why and not the what. Does that make sense? Like experiencing whatever this situation is through the lens of the why. Like, why did I start this? Why am I here right now? Why did I decide to take this path? Instead of the what, which is this 8 of Pentacles, which is like, what do I need to do? What more do I need to learn? What can I do better? You know what I mean? It's really yeah, maybe you've gotten that down pat. But it almost feels as if, especially with this Emperor in reverse, that maybe the pendulum has swung too far one way and needs to kind of come back the other way, where like maybe you've gotten too analytical. Again, maybe that's why this King of Cups is in reverse. Because I'm not seeing, sometimes I can read the King of Cups as emotional manipulation. I'm not at all reading it that way. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure, Gemini, that some of you or a good handful of you have somebody in your life that's being emotionally manipulative. I just don't think that this reading is about that. I think this reading is solely about you, your emotions, this change that's coming, this inevitable change that is coming, that will be good and will be wonderful. So do not stress it. Don't, easier said than done, right? But I think that's where the self-care comes from. It's like maintaining that, this idea of like, okay, things can change and maybe there are transitions happening and there are things that I need to learn to adapt to and what's the word that I'm looking for? Not transition. You learn to not process. I don't know. I don't remember the word I'm looking for. Adjust, right? There are still things with this change, with every change, good or bad, you have to learn to adjust to the situation. And in doing so, adjusting is a lot easier when you are taking care of yourself. And I think that's the crux of this reading. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. It seems very, very evident. But like I said, there is happiness and emotional fulfillment here. And your 10 of Cups, like feeling complete, period. Emotionally complete, and just feeling like you have the support that you need. You have the love that you need surrounding you. And part of that love comes from yourself, to yourself. So just remember that, Gemini, with whatever changes are coming your way. Again, remember, every change requires an adjustment, but not all change is bad. And sometimes it's like the universe is propelling you into a different, and that's what it feels like. It feels like kind of being propelled into a new life, a good one, right? But sometimes in order to, like the snake, you got to shed the old skin in order to come into the new. And sometimes that skin shedding can be a little bit tough. So hang in there, take care of yourself. That is really the crux of the reading. Let me know what else y'all want to see. I'm going to start doing oracle cards too. I want to really figure out how to make these readings better. So let me know what y'all think. Love you guys very much. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.